The most engaging, impactful, informative, and entertaining talk show ever. Get ready to hear the voices of many local, state, and national artists, musicians, comedians, pastors, athletes, and politicians. It's time for South Florida Live with Jeffrey Brown.
All right, here we go. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the South Florida Live Podcast. I'm your host, Jeffrey Brown, and as we always say, this is the day that the Lord has made. We shall rejoice and be glad in it. Hey, y'all, come on in. Let's get it started. It's that time. We're building strong relationships with good relational goals. It's the singles edition. So come on, y'all. All right, those that are viewing by Facebook, help me out. Go ahead and like and share if you will. Tag some people, let them know the South Florida Live Podcast is on. It's the singles edition. Now we treat each other in the spring. Take it with the silly games we play. We got all right, those that are viewing by YouTube, help me out tonight. Let me know you're there. Like and share. Text somebody. Text someone, let them know that the South Florida Live Podcast is on, and we are talking singles. It's the singles edition. We continue to show love to the one and only Frankie Beverly. So come on, Facebook, join us tonight. We got something to talk about. I have some questions for y'all tonight. I have some questions. Panel's gonna help me tonight too. All right, here we go. 30 seconds, y'all. 30 seconds. Come on. I need some folks to start tagging some people. Let's tag someone. Tag at least 10 people. Let them know, this new thing, highlight, whatever, follower, put that in there. Do that for me. Go ahead and share this broadcast. I need everyone that's on right now. Everybody that's on right now. I need you to hit the share button. Everybody, I see everyone that's on. I need you to hit the share button for me right now. Just hit it. Hit the share button for me. Please, would you do that? Share this broadcast. I need everyone sharing it right now. Do that for me. YouTube, share it. Hit the share button. All right. All right, y'all, listen. It's about that time. We're going to get started. Yes, we're showing love and a little tribute to the one and only Frankie Beverly. Rest in power, my brother. All right. Hey, listen, it's that time. We are one. Yes, we got to remember that we are one. We are one. Hey, listen. Let's get this party started. Hey, I have my friends with me on this evening. They are here. They are ready. My sister is here, Chantel.
Good
Hey, good evening.
evening.
Good evening. How are you?
Hello. I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. Hope you had a productive day on today.
Yes, sir, I did. How about you?
I did. I did. I did. A little busy, but productive.
That's always good.
Yeah, yeah. And I have my brother. There he is, Mr. Rob Miner. Hey, man.
Hey,
Blessings.
hey, how's it going?
Hey, hey.
Hope you
All is
guys had
well.
a wonderful day as well. I had a good day.
That's
A good
great, man.
day.
That's great. That's great to hear that. Listen. Whoop, she disappeared. Okay. Um, I thought we had our sister, the one and only
Uh-oh.
Mr. Milda Wallace. She had to go take care of some things. All right. Hey, listen. It's been a while.
Yeah.
Y'all, it's just been me and Chantel hanging out, doing
Yeah,
Yeah.
I had the kids
it.
last week. I had the kids last week.
Listen, when I tell you she held it down, bro, she held it
Good
down.
job, good job, good job,
Yeah,
good job, good job.
did her thing,
All right.
man.
Thank you.
It was on point. We were on
Thank
point,
you.
man. We missed y'all though. We missed y'all. That was
Right.
I
Yeah.
miss you guys too. I wish I could have been
yeah.
there. I had the kids. It was tough. It
Oh,
was tough.
Uh,
It
oh,
was tough.
we
ooh,
understand. We understand.
I understand that.
22, 24 and 23 and 29. And they
Oh, oh
and,
yeah,
and my daughter had a list for everything she wanted to do. So,
really.
No.
you know,
Okay,
you know.
So
right.
she said she was gonna occupy all your
Oh,
time.
oh, come
Oh, your
on.
time. Make sure they locked you were locked in with them. Oh man. Hey, listen, y'all. We have been talking about how we started out talking about how to get over breakups according, but we started out talking about dating God's way, y'all. So
Yeah.
but then we were dealing with that, and then we, raised the question how to get over breakups, and we dabbled in that and really touched bases because we the other week what we left off um time, right? Time, was it time? We were talking time. Um
I forget. I forget.
no, I'm last week with me and Shan.
Okay, okay.
So we did the tribute, and then we talked about. Yes, I think we did talk about time because
Yeah,
you were
we got
asking like how many months and
yeah,
so
so
forth and
I wanted the whole crew. Oh, there she go. That goes my beautiful Miss
so.
Imelda Wallace. There she go. Um,
Hello.
yeah. Yes. Listen, yeah, so I wanted to dabble with that with the whole crew before we go to our next. And um time, 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 time. Um what we were talking about, we brought up time for um when is time? When is it time to say, okay, um you know I know it takes time to get to know one another. Someone is that you really like,
Mhm.
um, but far too many. They say this is what the people say. They say far too many couples are in way in way what are in way too big of a hurry. Are in a way too big of a hurry to get hitched. Other words, to get married. Um, is there an area of timing where we give it time, and when do we know when it's time? I know we should be having a conversation, but how long the conversation should go? um 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 do do we rush time? Do we put a date on the time? Do we put a deadline? I think that's the question I want to ask. Is there a deadline that you should put on when you're dating? When you're in dating, and I ain't just talking about no social, I'm talking you're serious. Y'all done had that serious conversation, and both of you are on. Well, everybody's on the same page of where we're going. So, is there a deadline? Who should set the deadline? Is there a deadline? If so, who sets the deadline? The male or the female?
Good question.
I'm I'm gonna go to she ain't been here for a minute. I'm gonna go to it. Uh, Wallace, I'm a I go to her because she know why I'm going to it. So you in it? Is there a deadline that you should put? And if so, who sets the deadline? The male, the male or the female? Or is it a joint joint decision?
I believe it's a joint decision, but I think for me, every relationship is different. I mean, for everyone, it all depends on, um, let me say this. I believe that everyone's relationships are different, and I don't know about any deadline or timeline. I believe that as a couple, if you've made a decision that you're going to be committed in time, and especially if you're praying together, that all things will work out, that it will eventually you'll get to that next phase.
Right.
Especially if you have those relationship goals. If you're in a relationship with someone where you know that you have goals that you want to spend the rest of your lives together, I think eventually the time will come and it'll just roll right into what it's supposed to be. But
Yeah.
that's just.
I mean, because I've seen and I've heard, granted, I mean, you shouldn't rush into a relationship straight, within them. I mean, like you said, all depends on the relationship, who it is or whatever, I guess. But but it shouldn't also take, someone 14 years before you do
No,
that.
and of course not. Now I'm
Yeah,
so
yeah.
so that's why I said that, and I don't want to. So if you have relationship goals, right, and you're having a conversation that you're making a decision that you're going to spend time together, and especially if you're children of God, I believe that you're going to pray and have a discussion about what your plans and your goals are. Then it shouldn't take 14 years.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I've had some friends that tell me they've been in a relationship for years, and the other person really didn't have any goals
Mm-hmm.
or plan. They didn't make relationship goals. They were
Right,
just together.
right, right,
So, but
right.
now it's different when you know what you want as a child of God. You're praying, you're with this person, you made a decision that you're going to be committed, that you want to spend the rest of your lives together. I believe that through prayer, that all things are going to work together. It'll eventually roll out, and you're going to continue to have these conversations about if we're going to get married. If
Right.
you're committed and you say you're serious, then you should have conversations about that. If not, then you should just move on. If that's not look, someone told me that they wanted to, you know, in the beginning they wanted to get married. The next thing I know, they was having a conversation. They don't want to get married anymore. So guess what? I have to make a decision and walk away because
Right.
that's not what I want.
Right. Right. I mean, because you don't want to rush and you don't
Right.
want to take a long time. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But you do need to take your time. In
Right.
dating, if you wanna be successful in the long run, if you want to have a successful I guess marriage or whatever, because it takes time for people to know people. And I'm not saying it's going to, you can you really never all know everything, but you'll know
Right.
some things, Rob. So I know, Rob, it's you shouldn't rush it, but then you torn between two things where you shouldn't rush, but then you shouldn't take a long time.
Yeah, absolutely. This is a tough one. Uh, I like how she answered it. This is a tough one because when you're dealing with Christians, it's different.
Mm,
Because when you're dealing with Christians, you're dealing with a different set of rules. So patience, frustration, a lot of different elements are in play. Where if you weren't Christians, they weren't being played. So when you dealing with relationships as a Christian, it's two things you got to be very careful with. First of all, be very careful when someone set a goal for something like marriage, and it's not. And she was right. That's something that both individuals should talk about and set a goal, because some people get so caught up in goals they forget that everybody is not the same and every relationship is not the same. But I will tell you this: marriage is basically a graduation. Okay,
Mm.
let's call it. It's a graduation. It's a step that both individuals have passed all the other levels of everything that had everything to do with dating, and they've gotten to the point where they enjoy, like each other, love each other, enjoy each other so much they're ready to graduate to that next level. The problem is getting past certain levels is just like school. Teachers know that they're certified to pass you, let's say, the eighth grade. So sometimes they give a test to the students, and the students don't pass that test. They don't. So they give them the test again, like 2, 3 weeks later. And if there enough people don't pass it, they give this another test. And then the students will start catching on to, Miss Anderson, you're giving us the same test. And they don't understand the reason why I keep giving y'all the same test is because you guys have not passed it. And I cannot consciously knowing that I'm in charge of taking you to the next level or to the next grade until you guys pass this particular part. The reason why a lot of people don't get married is because they're not honest enough with each other about certain levels and certain tests that they or the other person is just not passing. So you can get frustrated because you think you're on a certain level and you're ready to be married, but your counterpart might go, no, there's still some things, or
That
there's still
I'm ready.
something
Yeah.
that's keeping me from taking this next step. That's why communication has to be not just communication, because anybody can talk, but honest communication. Honest communication. Well, and then you can really know what's going on and you can get past those levels. But that's the reason why a lot of people don't get married and they have long engagements, because when you engage somebody, you want to marry them. But deep down inside, there's just some things about them that if you discuss, you might lose them. So you think that not discussing them, it'll go away or he'll change or she change.
Right.
No, honest
So,
honest
so
conversations.
right. So, other words, what you're saying, Rob, and bring this to Chantel. It takes time to see if someone has what it takes to be your mate.
Absolutely. And yourself to be their mate.
Right. To
Because
be their
sometimes you can
mate.
see you
Yeah.
falling short to them too.
Yeah. So Shan, so once again, it takes time. How long is too long trying to get to know someone? To your, I mean, just to your, you know, if they're not, like Rob said, if they're not giving involved in the conversation, not giving you all, you're not feeling that they're giving all. How do you do it? Because you need time to know somebody.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you need time. So how would you go about trying to work that out to get to know someone by, you're gonna take your time, but if they're not, you're not feeling it, how do you adjust that? How do you address that rather?
How do I address them? Like, let them know that I'm not interested?
Oh no, that hey, we've been talking, but you're really not sharing everything with me. It's some stuff because
Oh,
I'm trying to get to know you. You're
right,
trying to get to know them. They're trying to get to know you, and the
right.
questions are flowing, but you're answering the questions, but they're not.
Yes. I would say, I feel like I know you, but more so on a surface level. Like, I feel like you're not trying to reveal who you are at the core. And so I would start to ask questions, and if I still get, the same surface answers, then I know for sure it's like, no. So maybe I would say if I could give it a time frame, I don't know if I can really give it a time frame. I think once I realize that they're not trying to open up and allow me, to get more insight about who they are, I'm just gonna have to wrap it up. Like,
Yeah,
it was nice to meet you. I appreciate your time and effort, but I don't think that this is gonna go further than what it is because I don't know you.
Yeah. How important is it? How important, anybody can jump on this one. How important is it that that you get to know someone before say you might say before or is it important that you know not everything about someone but quite a bit to the point that you say, you know what, I can see myself with this person the rest of my life? Um um before you go to like the engagement or getting engaged.
Mhm.
Yes, it's very important. You know, they say that you should see a person in every emotion, you know, when they're happy, when they're sad, when they're going through it, when they're, you know, reached a level of success, you should see them in every capacity before you decide whether or not if that's somebody that you want to be with long term.
Yeah. Anybody else?
It's,
No.
like I said before, it's tough because as a Christian, uh, there's only but so many levels that you can go before you have to either make that decision or go to the next level. Our problem is, and people don't want to admit it, so I'm just going to be flat out honest with it. Our problem is competition, comparison, competition, comparison, and past experiences. I've been in situations where I've dated as a Christian, and I've dated Christian women. And I hear them say certain things about how our relationship isn't like another relationship they had, or they force certain things because of the way the relationship is. And I used to tell them, I used to say, you know what? That's a very unfair comparison. Because if you're comparing me with a guy that you were with for 2, 3 years, and you guys were intimate every 30 seconds, and you guys were like that, and me and you are celibate, and that's an unfair comparison, because as a Christian man, there are certain levels that I'm not supposed to go to that other people go to on a regular basis. So that's why people say test the waters, a test drive. As a Christian, we are really crippled or handicapped in relationships, and we get an unfair judgment on how we are in relationships because we haven't had the ability, or we haven't had the chances to do things other people didn't care about:
Right.
limits, guides, guidelines, Christ's word, and stuff like that. So it's really tough when you're talking
So
about.
so now I hear what you're saying. So that's a part of the conversation. If
Absolutely.
if that person said came to you, came to you and said, and y'all having a conversation and say, hey, you know what? Hey, listen, I'm intimacy is like this with me. Every every other day. This is, and if that's not your thing, then isn't that exit door? If that's not what you agree with, are you not with that?
Well, that's kind of tough, because most people, when the more they like somebody, the more they lie in the beginning. I don't know why I
But
go that
but
way,
but
but
see that,
I'm
but
just keep. You know me, I keep it
that's
real.
but that
So,
becomes one of the
and that's the
problems
problem. You
that
got it.
we have
You got
because
it.
we just settled and we just go along with it and
You
not
got
really
it.
taking our came and saying, hey, you know what? That
Absolutely.
that's not where I am. That's not me as a believer. I'm not, I'm not looking for that. Whatever. I can't, even if we were to get married,
Hmm.
I can't do every 30 seconds. I'm just saying. But a lot of times we'll go along with it and thinking that, oh, it's gonna change, it's gonna be different. It ain't gonna be that way.
Yeah.
And today there are some people that's in situations that they thought it would change and it did not change.
And it did not change,
So that's
because
why I'm saying we got to know people. We got to have that conversation. And I think we talked about it some time back about having the in-depth conversation,
that's right.
the
That's
real
right.
conversation. I'm not saying that that's what it is, because if we're doing it God's way, we have to be, because to me that's kind of unequally yoked. Because if I don't get down like
Absolutely.
that and you get down like that, then it ain't gonna work out. I don't care how
Absolutely.
cute and fine and buff he is or she is, or sex she is, it's not gonna work out.
Yes. And don't
So
fall in love with people. You can't fall in love with. Here's something else. You can't fall in love with parts of people to the point where you're going to ignore other parts of the people that you don't like, because that's going to get you in trouble every time. Some people say, you know what? I like how she looked, I like how she built, whatever. But the fact that she don't like to do this, or I'm going to overlook that because of this. No, you have to be honest about every part of somebody when you're dealing with them, because it's going to come out eventually anyway. So what you think you saving time with and saving frustrations, some arguments you're going to have, certain disagreements you're going to have, and you only are prolonging the inevitable. So
Right.
that's what I mean by open honesty. You not just being honest, because you can be honest, but if you're only being honest about half the stuff, you halfway being dishonest. You got to be openly honest
Yeah,
about everything.
we got to be honest. So what do y'all think about dating? Dating, I know it should be fun, but should it be some? Should you experience some pains in dating when you're going through the process, or should it should be just free and fun the whole time that you're dating?
Every relationship go through pain. No one's perfect.
Mm-hmm.
No one's perfect. You're gonna go through some disappointments. You're gonna go through, and that's where I think that the honesty part comes in, when you're not honest and upfront, and you find out some things, and then you're a little disappointed, or the person may say something, and you like, even in relationships, everybody, we're individual people, so we all have our individual issues, right? So even with in a relationship, you don't know what that person has been through that day.
Oh,
And you have these expectations that they're supposed to be okay every time you see them, but you
Definitely.
don't know what they've been throughout the day.
right.
So then now you're offended, right?
Mhm.
Because they're not responding the way you want them to. So now your feelings hurt. Okay. So then now you really, do you know if they had a good day
Right.
before you just jumped in and just assume? Why don't you find out, oh, how was your day? So sometimes you're gonna have that hurt. You're gonna have the disappointments. I mean, that's where the communication comes in. You had a good day today? Is everything okay? How was your day? You be concerned and show compassion,
Yeah,
with that person.
because it's basically like I think we stated sometime before about we treating each other the way you want to be treated
Absolutely.
uh in that state, because I wouldn't want nobody. I come home and first thing you jumping on me and didn't even say hello, whatever, and now we at that point.
Right.
But
Mhm.
that's still in the midst of the learning process, right?
Right.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's
Absolutely.
still in the midst of the learning process of that individual, and especially if it's done on a regular, it's like okay, uh,
That there's a book called The Five Love Languages, and I think it's a really good book because we all expect and want things different. And
right,
Mhm.
that we really need to get to know. It's really good to really get to know individuals, or your
got
partner, or your,
and you
you know,
make the decision. Can I not?
right,
Yeah.
right, exactly,
Am I
Yes.
right.
gonna
Yes.
be able to deal with this coming home every day? You know what I'm saying? But that's stuff that you got to. I feel that you need to figure out and see and pay attention to before the I do.
Yeah. That should be a must anyway. That should be the first thing. It should almost be like an open rule that when you see each other, the first thing after the hug or whatever, you say on both parts, "How was your day?"
Yeah,
That's
I,
Mhm.
that should be a a a written law, because if you don't care enough to know how somebody else's day went, your significant other day went, then you're going to be susceptible to the attitudes and stuff like that might happen, because you didn't take the time out to know that she was frustrated. You didn't take the time out to know that she had a bad day. You didn't. She might have got fired. You didn't, or she might have got laid off, or she might have lost a position to somebody, or she didn't get a raise that she expected, and she didn't want to talk about it because she didn't want to feel like she was whining. But if you would have said, "How was your day?" it would have opened up the door where now she feel like she can talk about it.
right,
Little silly things like that make a big difference in relationships.
And can I just add that I don't like text messages. Sometimes
Mm, mm.
they send the wrong messages. So when you're dating someone, me, I'm a big communicator. I want you to call me. I don't want to misread the text,
Right,
or
right.
because it could be wrong. And like I say, I don't know what's going on the other end of the phone.
Yeah.
So let's talk.
I agree
Let's
with that.
communicate.
I agree
Now,
with that.
now I'm a texter. I'm a texter. I'm a texter. But I believe if I was involved with someone and they were like, "Hey, you know what? I don't want to do the text. Let's talk straight up." Because I do prefer talking. I'm getting better at
hmm
talking face to face because
Mm-hmm.
I'm not really that confrontational person,
hmm
but I'm getting better at talking face to face. I think I'm growing into that if I get to that where I can, but I am a texter. But if that individual say, "Hey, we don't text me, either call me or let's talk in person,"
Yeah.
then you kind of got to respect that.
Yeah, but with the exception of two English majors, sometimes texting can be misconstrued.
Yeah, it
If you
can.
don't put the
That's what I'm
explanation
saying.
points,
Yeah.
if you don't put the explanation points the right way, if you don't know what sentences and commas and all that stuff is, you might take something somebody's saying simple as an insult, or they trying to get smart with you and stuff like that. That's why it's best, to just
Pick
you
up the
gonna have
phone.
to you have to look at me anyway. You got to talk to me anyway. If I'm your significant other, you should want to hear my voice. Now I understand little cute things you text, like hey,
During the day.
or
During the day.
just thinking
During
of
the
you.
day.
That's it.
Yeah.
But if you're
Hey,
giving me an encyclopedia and I got homework to read and stuff like that, because your text is so long, no, you got to talk to me then. You got to talk to me.
yeah. And that's what Amilda was just saying. She was like,
Mhm.
let's get away from if you're involved, you're in a relationship, serious relationship, at that point, it shouldn't be no real texting other than during the day,
Mhm.
hey, just thinking about you, seeing you,
And we have
That's
we
it.
get to FaceTime now, so I get to see you and everything.
right, right.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
everybody don't have Apple.
And this is why we have to. I don't have Apple. I
Oh,
have
that's
Android.
No, I
But
got
there's a
Android.
way.
I got
you
FaceTime.
go messaging.
But what through
Yeah.
WhatsApp, you can do a lot.
That's right.
Messenger,
That's right.
and
Mhm.
this is where the communication comes in and getting to know the individual, what they like and what they don't like.
And you can eliminate a lot of hiding too,
Yeah.
because now you can see how I look every day. Now you can see what you're going to deal with, without being in church and without being on a date. Now you can't hide all those flaws, because if you're talking about going to the next level, I need to know the whole
Listen,
you.
listen. If sister know you about to FaceTime her, she ain't taking that face off until after the FaceTime.
Oh, and that's why you don't. And that's why you don't make it a Zoom meeting. You
Forget it.
sneak and you sneak and do it. You don't say
Uh-uh.
I'm going to FaceTime you at 4
Uh-uh.
o'clock. No,
Trust
you
me.
randomly do it.
No. They not gonna answer. They gonna
They're not
call
gonna
their
answer.
number. They not gonna answer. And then you'll see a
Yeah,
phone.
you're probably
You'll see
right.
a number
Yeah,
come up
yeah, you're
that they
probably
called
right.
you.
Yeah, yeah.
So
They
yeah,
get it together
yeah,
first and
Don't
FaceTime
take
you
the time
back.
to get it
yeah.
together. Hold on, hold on,
Whoa,
hold on.
baby, I was doing something. I'm a FaceTime you right back.
And she come there looking all beautiful, like, oh no,
FaceTime
I
you
just
right
I
back.
just got out the bed. Stop lying.
Cause you just you caught me. No, you ain't even gonna see that part, bro. Trust me.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. You're right.
Unless they just really, into it, don't matter. They don't care, whatever. Take me as I am. They'll
You're right.
but
You are
trust
right.
me. If that face ain't on, trust
That
me,
that
brother.
phone ain't gonna be on, right?
Ain't no FaceTiming, bro. No FaceTiming.
Look, I wasn't near the
No
phone. Look, I
video call.
wasn't.
Yeah, I wasn't near
Hey,
the
I
phone.
wasn't near the
Yeah,
phone.
it was in my pocket, but I wasn't near it.
I think it was gonna vibrate.
Right, right, right.
You know what? I forgot to turn it off, turn it back
Yeah,
on.
yeah.
Silence all day. Come
Yes.
on. No, you ain't getting that. I'm gonna tell you
No,
what's
you're
gonna
right.
happen.
You're
You
right. You're
gonna
right.
FaceTime them. If they not presentable, they gonna end up not answering the FaceTime, but then calling. Like, girl, I
Mm-hmm.
just FaceTime you while you're
And listen,
oh.
look, wait now, and you get to know each other. You really need to be mindful about that FaceTime early in the morning. You got all your PJs and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I want to
Come
see
on.
it.
Listen,
Hey Jeff,
listen,
you'll get this. Is something wrong with my life?
but listen, but if you talk about I'll be married this woman, you ain't gonna have that face on when I wake up next to you.
I need to
No,
know.
no,
I need
that's
to
right.
know.
But
So
listen, there are ways. There are ways. Come on
so
now. There are ways
She
that
might be
expose
a
you
boy. She
expose
might be
me
a
to
boy.
oh no, we ain't going there. No, no.
listen.
Listen, so expose me to it now.
Yes.
Right.
And give me the choice.
Don't,
And
That
give
don't
me
comes.
the
expose,
choice.
don't expose
But
me
that
to it
comes with
later.
getting to know. That comes with getting
Exactly.
to know.
Yes,
Don't
Come
yes.
on.
expose me
That's
to it
levels,
later.
levels, levels.
Yes.
Great. I mean, it's procedure. It's a little progress, but don't expose it to it all at once now because we
Now listen.
Yeah, you
Wait
yeah,
a
you get on the phone and I say
might
Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice.
no, they talking about for who this woman. You're like, oh, who this woman? Y'all,
Wait a
y'all,
minute,
y'all remember
Rob.
the movie "I'm Gonna Get You Sucker"? When he Damon he had the young lady, what's her name, and all of a sudden they were in the room and and she just started taking off all kind of stuff because she was bald head.
Oh
I,
yeah, I'm gonna get you, sucker.
I'm
I'm
gonna
gonna
get
get you, sucker.
need one of the moments. We don't
Yeah.
need the moment. But no, like you
But
said,
listen, wait a
I,
minute.
I,
Now listen, wait a minute,
no,
now, because
no,
you see, because no, because there are some things even that we need to see too. We need to
oh
look.
Absolutely.
yeah, I
Absolutely.
know.
Oh,
No,
okay, all right,
Absolutely. Absolutely. I agree. I agree. I agree.
okay,
I
I
agree.
always listen. I always talk about both sides.
That's
I
right.
ain't gonna
That's
talk
right.
okay,
about
That's
one
right.
side because some of our brothers got we wake up funky. I mean, we ain't
listen,
too cute in the morning, and
okay.
we don't wear makeup. We probably need to.
Uh-uh.
We
We
probably
should.
need to wear
Oh, I
makeup.
love to wear some man. I wish we did. I wish we did. Boy, I'd be sharp, boy. I'd be so sharp.
Okay. So anyway, so yeah, we just got to we got to have the
Oh my
conversation.
God.
Dating is up and down, but we got to be real about it and where we are in that aspect with time, time. We
Mhm.
can't rush it. We can't rush it, but we can also take forever.
Right.
In
But
so
even as Christians, right? I mean,
Mhm.
we're praying. We're both. If we're in this thing together, we're talking about goals. We're praying. We're both. We made a decision that we would pray and seek God, right?
Yes.
mhm.
And I think that that's where, and if we're sincere about what we're saying and what our goals are, I really just believe that all things it'll eventually just
It work out.
flow.
It's
Right.
Yeah.
work out.
Right,
Yes.
right.
Now, I'm glad you went there because you taking me into my next area. I'm glad you. Thank you. You must be feeling me this evening. Been a while. So you feeling me. Um so we've been talking about dating
Hmm.
and you brought it up, Imelda, about praying. We've been
I wanted
praying.
to talk about that too. I was
Oh,
wondering where you're
oh,
going with
oh,
that. Go ahead.
no. You don't know. Yeah, hold on. You talking about praying and for the whatever for when you're in that relationship or before you're in a relationship, you praying to God and
Mhm.
so can I ask y'all this? This is the
Mhm.
questions that I want to ask. Um, um, when the right one comes, let's talk about when the right one comes.
Mm.
Um, when the right one comes,
Mm.
what should you do until the right one comes? That's on both male and female. What
Mm.
should you do?
Mm.
You said pray. You pray in the what should you do? Yeah, I think it's a little more, but what should you do until the right one comes?
Mm.
I'm gonna
Mm.
start with the ladies on this one.
Thank you. Mm.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Chantel.
Oh, great. I think you should continue to
Mhm.
prepare yourself.
Right.
Work on those areas that you know that you're not your strongest. Find a hobby. Um, just get to know you. Make sure that you're secure in who you are. Know
Mm.
whose you are. Make sure you have that strong relationship with God. Continue to pray. Um, yeah, just continue to work on you. Be the best version of you.
Oh,
Right.
Imelda.
Well, I in total agreement with her, because we have to remain the individuals that we are when we get in that relationship. We don't lose ourselves, right? And I just believe that I'm like now, I'm asking God to prepare me to be a wife. If that's part of his plan for my life, prepare me to be a wife, expose things to me that needs to be tightened up, or things that I need to do. And what am I bringing to the table? What am I offering to the relationship? I don't want to come with all the, especially, and break off every stronghold,
Mm-hmm.
asking God to deliver me from, break off every stronghold, cut every soul tie. I don't want to bring the baggage in
Right.
the right relationship.
Right.
So I'm asking God about all of that to get this right. Like she said,
Mhm.
Lord, show me, expose to me what needs to be, get me ready to be a wife.
Yes.
And in the midst of that, I'm also praying for my husband.
Mm-hmm.
Because if God, I really believe that, you know, I have a desire, and I believe that if I believe that I'm going to get married, I'm praying for him as well now.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yep.
Okay, Rob.
I'll continue interviewing and put out applications. Uh, I'm keeping it real. I'm keeping it real. See, when I wasn't saved, that would have been a bad answer because when I wasn't saved, I was taking just about every relationship I had to that level. I had a bunch of fun. But when I got saved and I was living a celibate life, dating then or interviewing potential candidates or whatever wasn't bad because I wasn't doing nothing with them anyway, and I was getting to know them the way I needed to know them without being in a situation where intimacy and everything got in the way. So until a guy is different, until you get in that relationship, you're gonna have to interview and you're gonna have to put out applications. But here's the one big thing that I made that mistake, and most guys make the mistake in. The more you get, and the closer you get to a candidate that is great potential and you see can be that person, now you got to stop interviewing. Now you got to stop putting out applications. And this is the last part. And this is everybody make this mistake. Now to start to the more you elevate somebody, the more it's time to start eliminating everybody else. I'm talking about as friends and everything. When you first meet somebody, yeah, you might have friends that you know that you can talk to every now and then because you don't know how far it's going to go with that person. But the closer you see, when you see the relationship starting to go higher and higher and higher, you're supposed to be separating yourself more and more and more from everybody else. So when you get to the point where now you've made that person, you've made that person the person you want to be with the rest of your life, or you want to see if you're going to be the rest of your life, you can't have any outside interferences or anything. I've made that mistake, and everybody else make that mistake. You can't have an insurance plan or if you have a serious relationship. No, I used to operate like that back in the day, but as a Christian, when you're looking for a wife, you cannot have an insurance plan. And too many people talk all this stuff and they say, oh, we ain't doing this, this. No, we all got friends and stuff that we talk to. Even if you don't try to sleep with them, you know that if you wanted to, you could, or if they wanted to. No, you got to get rid of all of
Mhm.
that. The closer you get to a relationship, the deeper the relationship get, it's supposed to be an elevation and a de-escalation at the same time. You're supposed to be elevating them and de-escalating everybody else. And when we get that down pat, so by the time you say, yeah, you ready, you don't want nobody else. You ain't got nobody else. You ain't feeling nobody else. And that make it easier to make the right decisions. We don't do that enough.
Yeah.
But
Mm.
that's breaking off soul ties. That's
Yeah.
breaking off
Right.
stuff.
And
Kill them.
and and that's the thing that I was going to address is that um the other thing that we need to do, I believe, as me and everyone else, is have you ever just for a moment, just a true moment, have a true moment with yourself where you
Mhm.
stand in front of that mirror and you said, you know what, and be honest with yourself and say, you know what, this spirit on me I don't like.
Mhm.
This
Absolutely.
this spirit on me I don't. I'm my mouth is a little too flip. Uh,
Mhm.
that's not going to be attractive.
Right.
Um,
Yeah.
uh,
But that goes back.
brothers, my I get angry too fast.
Yeah.
Right.
that's not going to be attractive. I got to work on that because
Right.
I believe if you ain't if if you ain't no good, if you
Right.
have to fix yourself up, you ain't no good. You're not going to be any good to the relationship.
Absolutely.
Right.
That's
Well
on
said.
both, I
Right.
believe
Well
that's
said.
on both sides.
Well
That's
Yes.
said.
on both sides.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
if you're not honest, like I mean, I Michael Jackson, the man in the mirror. If you don't check yourself,
Mm-hmm.
be honest with yourself of some of your issues,
Shortcomings.
Mm-hmm,
Yeah.
mm-hmm.
of some of your issues. Before you know it, you'll be bringing those issues into a
Right.
relationship,
Absolutely.
and now he got issues, you got issues.
Right.
When issues collide and come together, you got a mess.
Yes. Yes.
Right.
But
Yes.
So
even at what I said, that's what I
while
said
we're
earlier.
waiting, yeah,
Yes.
while we're waiting,
Right.
you said it. While we're waiting, we need to take care of our issues.
Yeah.
Take our
Yeah.
own
And
inventory.
not just say it, but
To
honestly
do
be
it.
honest about it. Because
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
sometimes, if we be honest, sometimes you don't see yourself
You
like
don't.
Right.
somebody else see you.
Nope.
You
Right.
see somebody else in a way, but you
Right.
and you have the similar way, but you don't see yourself in that way.
Mhm.
Absolutely. Just
That's what
because
Yes.
I
you're
mean about
comfortable,
being
yes.
honest with
Just
yourself.
because you're comfortable with your mistakes, don't mean they're good.
Don't
Just
mean
because you're
Right.
comfortable with a thing that you do that's wrong, don't mean it's not wrong. That means you wrong more. That's all. But you gotta trust it. I agree with you 100%. To both of you guys, I agree with you guys 100%.
But
yeah,
but people always say, "Well, God knows my heart and my
Yeah.
shortcomings."
come
That's an
on.
excuse that people. I'm just saying that's an
Okay.
excuse that
No,
people make.
you're right.
We have
Let's
to
Right.
say
take.
something about the God
Always.
part.
We have to. But wait, we have to
Come on.
take. I said it earlier. We have to take our own inventory, and we have to
Mhm.
ask. I said it earlier.
Yeah,
I'm asking God to reveal to me, expose to me things about me, because we could think, "Oh, I'm good. That ain't me. They got the issue."
Hmm.
No, you got an issue. No,
Right.
you. You
Yes.
Right.
know, so
Yes.
God exposed to me, so I won't bring the baggage.
right, right.
I
Right.
won't bring the
If you got a if
comparison.
you got a jealous spirit and you
Right,
know you got a jealous
You
spirit,
right.
know it.
you got to work on that.
And that becomes
Exactly.
that's the insecurity.
Right.
That's the
If you
insecurity.
and fellas, if you know you got a flirting spirit,
You know you got it.
you know you got it. You
Right.
got
Right.
to work on it because you
Yes.
can't bring those jealousy and flirting in a relationship.
No. That's
I'm just
poison.
I'm just saying
But
Right.
it's not gonna prosper.
can I say
Right.
something
Right.
about God? Can I say something about God and praying? Because I think this is the problem. I hear Imelda talking about, she says, she prayed about this or she prayed about the relationship. And I heard you say it, Jeffrey and Chantel, you guys say it all the time. And I agree with that. You pray about this, you pray about that. Now, that's goes hand in hand what you just got finished saying about the issues. Here's the problem. You want to know why a lot of people don't pray the way they should? Because praying to God is the one time you can't fool somebody. Praying to God is the one time you have to be totally honest. You can't say something to God and that ain't right about yourself
Mhm.
because God know. So
Right,
some people won't even bother
right,
taking certain things to God because
They
they
don't
know
want to
they
be
wrong,
convicted.
they ain't ready to change, and they know that they
Mhm.
can't lie to him.
Right.
They don't
right.
want to be
I mean,
convicted.
and this is the thing. We're gonna move on. I'm gonna move on to the next question because I gotta go. And when God reveals it to you,
Mhm.
don't be like, was God trying to tell you something? When he
Mhm.
tells you, you got to accept it.
You gotta accept it.
Right.
Right.
Don't say, no, Lord, I don't know. Is that you speaking? No, you already know. You
And
know it's,
you know already.
and we got to accept. That's both sides. That's
Both sides.
both
Both
sides.
sides.
Both
Yes.
sides that we got to accept it.
Absolutely.
Okay. So we know we talked about what we should do until the right one comes. Uh, uh. Now I'm gonna ask this question: would you really know when the right one comes?
If you right,
If you would you really know?
if you right, if you like you guys said, if you take care of you and you take care of your issues, your problems, your this, your that, and you totally honest with yourself, you will know when it's the right person because that person will draw to you. See, a lot of times people don't draw to you because you're not ready to receive what they're giving you because you're not right. But the more you, that's why I say he who finds a wife finds a good thing. Yeah, if you're a good thing, see, that's why. If you take care of your own issues, it's easy to connect with the right thing. Because if it's the right thing, it was sent by God. A lot of times we miss out on, especially men, we miss out on great relationships and great women because we weren't ready yet.
Amen.
Wow, that's good. That's good. I mean, yeah, that's good. We have to we have to prepare ourselves, and for us to know, um, um, even though it is said that when a man finds his wife, he finds a good thing. But I said it way back, not a angry thing, not a I'm low self-esteem thing, not a I'm a mean thing, not a
May
but
I
a
add
but a
something?
but a good thing.
And remember what God said when he
Um,
talking about when
But
God said he. Remember what he was talking about when he said he.
right,
He don't mean just a man. He mean he, a man that he has prepared
yeah,
and a man that is ready to receive a good thing. See, everybody want a good thing. He said, yeah, he who finds a wife finds a good thing. But he ain't talking about you if you ain't right.
mhm.
wow, wow.
I
Yeah.
believe too that when you're ready,
Mm-hmm.
when your spirit is ready, and when you're ready, you'll attract. You'll
Absolutely.
attract. Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And
When you a
you'll
he,
know.
yeah, when you a he and she a good thing, that's a good match right there. But if
Amen.
Yeah,
you ain't a
Once you in
he
the
and
line.
she ain't a
right,
good thing, it ain't gonna
right.
happen.
Shan, you think is it possible, Chantel, that
Mm-hmm.
you that is such a vibe? It's possible to have such a vibe, whereas not saying that every moment together gonna be fireworks and just wonderful, but even the downtime,
Mm-hmm.
uh
That's a good question. That's good.
it'll work out. It somehow you just feel okay with even the downside.
Yeah.
Is that possible?
Yeah, it's possible. I think once you realize that you and that person truly align and God has confirmed it, after you,
Mhm.
prayed and seek God about it. Yes, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Because
agree.
I'm done. We got to go. So that's almost saying not a perfect relationship, but that's kind
Right.
of the status of a good,
Yes.
solid God way.
Progressing
Godly
relationship.
relationship.
I
Yeah.
know godly relationship. Whereas even if we disagree,
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
we good.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
A
Because we're
You know,
two,
purposeful,
like
a
like
we,
purposeful
Imelda
we
said
good.
relationship.
earlier, we're two
It
different
ain't
individuals.
right,
Yeah.
right, right,
Right.
right.
Right. Right.
It ain't no, I'm right. All it's about,
Right.
or
Right.
I've experienced this where they know you right,
Ooh.
They got too
but,
much
but
pride.
ain't
Yeah,
gonna
that's
admit
pride.
That's
right.
That's
pride.
pride.
Yeah. You can say the moon is orange. They'll say no, that moon is purple.
Got some growing up to do.
And then some
But you
folks
know,
will walk by and say, "Ooh, isn't that a pretty orange moon?"
but you
And
know,
ooh, yeah, isn't that is a nice moon? But wait, didn't I just say the moon was orange? Now I'm just saying that's on both sides.
Yeah.
We
That's
got
one.
we
Yeah.
got to mature in this thing where we can agree and disagree and
Yeah.
still be good.
and
Yes.
Yeah.
still be good.
Still
That's
be
what I'm
good.
saying. And you learn and
Yeah.
build. You learn from each other. You build, and you gotta give. We're not perfect. We got to give
No.
people
Far
grace, and
from
we
it.
know
Yeah.
we know when
Definitely.
we're in the.
Right. Right.
Listen,
Right.
we know when we're in the wrong relationship. There's no need for us to sugarcoat play with it. We know, but when we're in the right relationship, it's not going to be perfect. So you give that
Right.
person grace. You talk about it. Communication is the key. It
Yeah.
really is the key.
That's it.
Across the
That's it.
board. Yep.
That's it. That's it. That's
That's
it.
it.
All right, y'all. Wow. That was good. That was good. I told you, man, y'all was gonna handle that. I told y'all gonna handle it. I know my people. I know my folks.
Good job, guys.
Hey, y'all, listen, you've been tuned in to the South Florida Live podcast. This is the singles edition. Y'all, we've been letting you have it tonight. This has been good. This has been good. I really don't want to stop.
I enjoyed it.
I really don't want to stop, but I have to. I got an interview.
Rob had me rolling tonight.
Yeah.
Thank you.
8:00. So hey, y'all, don't go nowhere. Tune in. Stay around for my interview at 8:00. Listen, thank you, family. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Yeah, be blessed.
It's so good to see all y'all again.
Yeah, I missed y'all last
And
week.
you know, it's funny because I had I wasn't gonna get on because I'm a chaplain for our high school class of 1985 Miami Northwestern Bulls, and I had to. And they had the meeting tonight, and I was supposed to praise. That's why I logged off and logged back on. I felt bad. Yeah.
Thank you for coming back on.
We appreciate you.
I appreciate you taking out your busy schedule, your time to be with us. Small.
Listen, no, seriously, y'all pray for me. This semester is a little more weight than last semester, so y'all pray for us, sister.
I got an announcement for you guys next week too about my comedy. We'll get into that next week.
Where you gonna be?
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, you gonna be somewhere next week, or?
I actually rented, and it's official now. I rented the Miramar Cultural Theater for a big show in December. I'm going to have Small Fry. It's going to be an all-lady show. I'm hoping it might be a Kamala type thing, but it's going to be Small Fry. I got Sister Cantaloupe. I got Lady Fifi. And it's going to be in that theater, and it's going to be nice. I'm thinking about.
You know to keep us posted.
Oh yeah.
You get everything, all your information.
Let
me know. We'll bring you on. We'll talk about it. We'll do it for you.
Absolutely, I appreciate it. Thank you. God is good. God said, if you want something done right, do it yourself. He said, I want you to start doing shows. And I got some big things that have happened. God has really blessed me. He's really blessed me.
Okay, great.
God be the glory. That's
all right.
You got us, brother. All right, y'all. Love y'all.
Love you too, bro. Love you guys.
All right, y'all. Good
night.
Hey, listen, you've been locked into the South Florida Live podcast. Hey, I'm your host, Jeffrey Brown. Hey, this is great. This has been fine. I hope everyone enjoyed tonight and someone picked up something and learned something about what we were talking about, discussing about when the right one comes and time. Okay, I got another interview, y'all. Don't go nowhere. Y'all stick right there. I'm gonna come right back on. Y'all don't want to miss this. It's gonna be good. Listen, this guest that I got coming on, y'all gonna love it. Hey, as I always say, hey, I'll pray for you. Y'all keep praying for me now. Keep praying. Don't play with me. Keep praying for me. I'll pray for you, and let's watch God change things. God bless you.
Email your idea for show topics to the South Florida Live Show at gmail.com. Thank you for tuning in to South Florida Live with your host, Jeffrey Brown.